if you think about why Estonia went for a DRS back in the day, then it already started 2003 when all the three Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, ministries of environment met and decided that they will go for DRS as a solution regards the littering of the beverage cans, etc. While Estonia was the only one who did it in 2005, then we're really happy that now 2016 Lithuania, 2020 Latvia also followed finally. We have always been very proud of our nature. We have a lot of forest. We have, I think, one of the lowest population density. We have a lot of space here, our fields and forests, etc. But we like to promote that. We like to promote that picture, and we love to live in that picture. But something was missing, or I would say something was too much there. Would be rather. And it's clearly the littering side, which at least I'd say 30-40% of them were clearly coming from the beverage cans and PET bottle side, because it's just so easy to have your picnic and just toss it away. And I think the visual part was clearly one of it. And secondly, to really have a modern, though some might to argue that the first DRS system like Sweden already started in 1983, but I'd still say it's even today it's a modern system, and we wanted to really implement some modern environmental logic that would work and do something for the nation for real, not on paper, not in the chambers of discussion for years. The biggest challenges, I think, clearly were related to the fact that when you start to implement the DRS, yes, as a front runner, as a minister, its officials, they will, if it will be successful, and it will be, they will get their fame. But all politicians, I think, need to understand that this is not an ego game. It is a matter of really bringing to the round table your political friends and enemies and deciding together that this is something that we do for the nation. We do it for the next decades. And it's an environmental really impact project, which will not have impact after 10, 15 years, but we will have immediate impact 1-2 years after the go live. So I think it was also for us in the beginning a challenge for the politicians to agree between themselves. And also the second challenge, clearly, when there is a unity, finally, from the political side, then it's a question about making the key stakeholders, like producers and retailers, to understand this necessity. Because clearly in their mind, sometimes, there are understandable fears about costs, etc. But it's a question about communication and really straightforward communication. This is the decision. And now the question is how we can support you and how we can do it together. So like in any other DRS, in the beginning, the first 6 months is in a way a communication mess that ideally turns into a communications bliss because there are so many different stakeholders. There are the small producers, the big producers, there are the importers, small retailers, the corner shops, there are the meaning the traditional and the modern trade. Everybody has its own interests and fears. It's what I see in different countries. Even now, working with recent project in Czech Republic, these are total flashbacks for me, because the major thing is something new equals something of big fear, and you just need to communicate. And actually, the government has an important role to bring out the benchmark projects and experience from the world, and to kind of really bring knowledge instead of fear. And when fear starts to disappear step by step, then constructive thinking kicks in. And everybody at the end of the day needs to understand that we're on the same boat here. Yeah, I think clearly it's a popular measure, because if we talk about my country, Estonia, for us it's a routine today. 19 years after the implementation, it's a routine. But yeah, if we talk about it, we're still proud of it. But also looking at other systems all over Europe now, the new systems popping up, like I said already, 2022 Latvia started, 2022 Slovakia started. I think what is very important from the communication side, and also from the essence of the project, not just marketing, is a question of national pride. And I really see now, looking at the Slovaks, looking at the Latvians and others in history, 2016 Lithuania, after they see the first results, the people are really proud that they have really done something. They can do with this simple step of going next time to the retail shop and returning also their empties. And they have done significant thing for their environment. So very simple as that. You know, the devil is always in the details. And one of the issues was related to the EN codes and the EN coding. Meaning that if you use an international code in a country and your neighboring countries are not having a deposit system, you will have quite millions of packages coming to your country kind of illegally. Basically, it's called the cross-border risk. And for us, that was a serious thing. And it's also an issue in some other countries that needs to be tackled from day one. Today, already implementing new systems, you know, we have an opportunity to learn from these mistakes made from the history, because you need to have a controlling system. You need to have a proper e-encoding logic from day one. You can design it already in the beginning rather than dealing with mistakes correction later on. So these are definitely challenges. But again, you know, like any system, it has its pluses and minuses. It's just a question about acknowledging them and dealing with them from day one. But I was still surprised, and I am still today surprised, looking at the new systems, how quickly we can create this return rates. You know, thinking back again, like 2016, always a good example, Lithuania, basically already the first full year, which was 2017, because they started and it takes time, the transition period and everything in the beginning. The first full year, they had already 92% of returns. Yeah, I'm still amazed by this power of the deposit value itself as a measure, because let's be honest, you know, we all think green. That we all think, well, we all like to think we are green, and we are getting better at it. We are, you know, we are care for the globe, etc. But then coming back to our everyday actions, are we so green? And you know, for me, unfortunately or fortunately, the proof of that is still that we need that monetary incentive, because just on a voluntary basis, let's bring all packages back, doesn't still work. You know, I think it's from one side, it's learn from the best, look at the best practices. We have now already 10 plus successful DRSs in Europe, but at the same time, and this helps you not to create a bicycle from zero. But at the same time, I think it's really important that you basically take this 70-60% of the core of the DRS, but you should never forget about the country specifics. Do it your best solution of DRS in your country. And you know, as I'm maybe repeating myself, but as I said previously, it's all about being on the same boat. We need to bring all of the stakeholders together, the producers, the retailers, and the government. And the government, you know, what I notice is that the government takes very harshly the role of just legislator and then the controller, the inspectorate of it, which is needed. That's clear. But the government should also, or could also, be like the partner for the producers, really helping along. For example, how communications towards the public, why we do this, and what are we hoping to get out of that for the nation. So yeah, it is a huge collaboration project regards all the stakeholders, and that takes some energy, but it's doable. It has been done, and it is being done today in many countries in Europe.